This film begins by showing a bamboo forest where two martial arts brothers, Sung-joon and Jin-soo, are practicing the traditional martial art of taebaekwan. After finishing their training, they meet their mentor, tells them about three famous schools, one of which is their own, located in the Taebaek Mountains, and teaching the martial art of taebaekwan, which focuses on the body's central meridian. Since Sung-joon and Jin-soo have been studying this martial art for 20 years, Lee says that they are worthy of the title of Grandmaster. Unfortunately, according to the rules, there can only be one Grandmaster per school, so Lee asks his two students to prepare for a fight the next day to determine who deserves the title. While Jin-soo is meditating in his room, Sung-joon suddenly arrives and asks to sleep in the same room with him. Although Jin-soo refuses, Sung-joon ignores him because he wants to reminisce about how they always trained together since they were young until they have to fight for real the next day. The next morning, Sung-joon wakes up and is shocked to find that Jin leaving a letter stating that Sung-joon is more deserving of the Grandmaster title than him. Because of this, Jin-soo decides to leave the school. This seems to sadden Sung-joon as he loses his childhood friend. 7 years later, Sung-joon has moved to the city and married Bomi. At that moment, he runs an acupuncture therapy business using his taebaekwan skills. However, Sung-joon acupuncture therapy to the elderly and those in need, which causes Bomi to frequently scold him because they have many bills to pay, including saving for their son's education. One day, Bomi was returning from the market and accidentally saw a long line to enter a massage parlor. Curious, she then asked a woman named Namu who was also in line. Namu then explains that she is in line because the massage parlor is famous for effective weight loss and offers many discounts for new customers. Hearing this, Bomi immediately promotes this, mentioning that her husband's place offers an acupuncture diet program that can quickly reduce weight. Upon arriving home, Bomi immediately asks Sung-joon about the diet program using acupuncture. Sung-joon is initially reluctant to answer, but when Bomi threatens to destroy his therapy statue, Sung-joon finally explains that there are certain acupuncture points that can help reduce hunger and aid in weight loss. Bomi is pleased to hear this good news and asks Sung-joon to prepare for customers. Switching to a restaurant owned by the Taebaek gang leader, Jong-ho, is seen meeting with Park Dae-ho, assigning him the task of intimidating the city residents to either move out or sell their properties at low prices. Unexpectedly, Jong-ho is doing this for the sake of a construction project in the area that will soon commence. He then orders Dae-ho to complete his task quickly if Dae-ho wants to reunite with his wife and daughter sooner. Meanwhile, Namu, who is interested in losing weight, visits Sung-joon's acupuncture clinic and is surprised when he only applies acupuncture to one point on her body. When Bomi finds out, while explaining that Sung-joon is just starting to assess her body condition before proceeding with the next acupuncture treatment. Bomi then approaches Sung-joon and protests about why the acupuncture massage for the diet is so quick. Sung-joon explains that he has indeed targeted the acupuncture point to reduce hunger and prevent constipation. Unfortunately, Bomi, not wanting to lose customers, asks Sung-joon to lengthen the acupuncture sessions so that customers will have more confidence in their services. That night, Dae-ho defeats dozens of thugs assigned by the Sajin group to protect a major city project. After overpowering the thugs, Dae-ho orders them to vacate the area within 2 weeks because the Taepyeong gang will be taking over the project. The next day, at a school, Sung-joon's son, Min-ho, is being bullied by other students, especially Yoon-sung, the son of a doctor. At that moment, Yoon-sung continues to bully Min-ho, saying that his father is just a fake doctor, until Min-ho finally gets angry and beats up Yoon-sung. As a result, Yoon-sung's father comes to business and demands accountability because Min-ho injured his son. Yoon-sung's father even belittles Sung-joon's work, prompting him to apply acupuncture pressure points on the doctor. At the same time, Bomi arrives and apologizes to Yoon-sung and his father for what Sung-joon and Min-ho did. Switching to a fast food restaurant, a television variety show reporter named Lee Hee-won is talking to a television producer on the phone. It turned out that Hee-won was upset because the producer had to air a news segment about a viral noodle dish in the city, but now wanted to cover something else. Shortly after, Hee-won overhears a conversation between Namu and her friend discussing an acupuncture massage that suppresses appetite and helps Namu with her diet program. Hee-won, hearing this, becomes interested in visiting and covering the acupuncture massage place. The next day, Bomi receives a call from debt collectors who give her a final warning to pay off her debt if she doesn't want them to seize her belongings. Panicked by the threat, Bomi becomes even more anxious, especially since Sung-joon is completely unaware of the debt. Shortly afterward, Hee-won arrives to meet Bomi, handing her a business card and asking for permission to cover their acupuncture massage business. That night, Bomi gives Hee-won's business card to Sung-joon and explains that a television variety show reporter wants to cover their acupuncture massage business, where Bomi hopes that the coverage will bring more customers to their business. Unfortunately, Sung-joon refuses to appear on television, which makes Bomi upset, and she threatens to leave him. No other choice, Sung-joon reluctantly agrees to his wife's request. The next day, while Bomi is serving customers at the acupuncture massage clinic, two police officers suddenly arrive to inspect the business. They inform Bomi and Sung-joon that they have received reports that the clinic is an illegal medical practice. The officers also mention that their business license has expired, so Sung-joon and Bomi need to take care of the renewal. At that moment, Bomi suspected that Yoon-sung's father was behind the police visit, as he was unhappy with the clinic's success. As a result, Bomi is visibly frustrated due to the lack of income to support her family. She is also constantly pursued by debt collectors named Park and Moon, who start coming to her house because Bomi hasn't paid off her debt. Bomi then quickly calls Sung-joon, who is out, asking him to come home immediately. When Sung-joon arrives home, he is puzzled by the presence of Park and Moon, so Bomi finally explains that they are debt collectors. Unexpectedly, Bomi had borrowed money to open the acupuncture massage clinic. Because Bomi wasn't honest with him, but he decides to help pay off her debt of 3 million won, including the principal, interest, and late fees. Additionally, Moon warns that if Sung-joon and Bomi don't pay off their debt soon, his men will come to Minho's school to take him. Hearing this, Sung-joon secretly attacks Moon and Park using his taebaekwan skills, ultimately defeating the two debt collectors. When Park and Moon regain consciousness, they quickly leave and report their experience to their boss, who then decides to personally handle the Sung-joon problem the following week when the acupuncture massage clinic reopens. On another day, Bomi contacts Hee-won to apologize for the clinic being closed for a few days and asks her to reschedule the coverage of the clinic. Unfortunately, Hee-won is no longer interested, citing that there are many other more interesting places to cover. That night, Bomi, feeling aches and pains in her body, asks Sung-joon to massage her, so he applies acupuncture pressure points on her back. The next day, Bomi feels more refreshed but also strange because she feels that Sung-joon's massage has made her breasts larger. Because of this, Bomi immediately asks Sung-joon about it, and he explains that he only applied acupuncture points on her upper back to improve blood flow, which can have the effect of increasing breast size. After hearing her, Bomi gets an idea to contact Hee-won again and tells her that their acupuncture massage clinic can enhance breast size. Hearing this, Hee-won becomes interested and quickly schedules a day for coverage. The next day, Hee-won arrives at Bomi's acupuncture massage clinic to install hidden cameras in the waiting room. Additionally, she tries the acupuncture massage herself with a hidden camera in her bag. When Sung-joon starts applying acupuncture points on Hee-won's back, the reporter is surprised because the technique is one that can only be performed by someone who has studied it for a long time. That night, Dae-ho meets with Jong-ho to remind the gang leader of his promise to free his family once he completes Jong-ho's tasks. Unfortunately, Jong-ho refuses because Dae-ho's work is not finished and even threatens to send his family, who are defectors, back to North Korea. Not wanting his family to be executed by the North Korean government, Dae-ho is forced to comply with Jong-ho's demands to finish the job. Jong-ho then gives Dae-ho a list of people who refuse to be relocated and instructs him to obtain their signatures or fingerprints so the urban redevelopment project can proceed. A few days later, Park and Moon return to collect Bomi's debt and cause a disturbance at the acupuncture clinic. Shortly after, their boss arrives to demand that Bomi and Sung-joon settle their debt, but Sung-joon is shocked to see that the loan shark boss is Jin-soo. At that moment, the two martial arts brothers are surprised to be reunited after 7 years apart. While chatting, Sung-joon admits that he never expected Jin-soo to become a loan shark and questions how Bomi's initial debt of 600,000 won. Jin-soo is also surprised to find out that Sung-joon's wife is one of his clients, and assures him not to worry about the debt because Jin-soo could never demand money from his martial arts brothers. Jin-soo then asks why Sung-joon, who was supposed to become the Grandmaster of taebaekwan, is living in the city. Hearing this, Sung-joon explains that after Jin-soo left, He decided to come down from the mountain to find him despite their master's efforts to stop his actions. Sungjum also recounts that when he first arrived in the city, he was overwhelmed by its vastness and felt lost until he saw Bomi being harassed by some thugs. Sungjun then saved Bomi, and they eventually fell in love and got married. After their marriage, Sungjun decided to stay in the city as it was impossible to return to the Taebaek Mountains with Bomi. However, Sungjun has kept his true identity a secret from Bomi and asks Jin-soo to keep it a secret as well. On another occasion, while Sungjun is tending to the acupuncture massage clinic, he meets a man wearing a conical hat, who turns out to be Lee. Sungjun is surprised by his master's visit and quickly takes him to the rooftop where he pays his respects. At that moment, Lee informs him that he has received a message from another school that the Grandmaster of the Changbai School has fled North Korea. Lee asks Sungjun to stop the Grandmaster, as he is the only one capable of doing so. That night, Sungjun tells Jin-soo about his meeting with Lee and admits that West because he now has a wife and son. Hearing this, Jin-soo explains his own reasons for leaving the school after realizing that Sungjun was the only one capable of facing Grandmasters from other schools. On the other hand, Daeho is now carrying out his task by forcing several people to sign agreements to sell their properties at low prices to a construction company. The next day, the shop and property owners are upset with an announcement asking them to sell their properties at below market prices. As a result, they agree to resist and appoint Bomi as the leader of their opposition against the construction company. Sometime later, Bomi is seen leading a protest by the property owners to reject the redevelopment in their city, especially since the compensation they are offered does not match the actual value of their properties. Jong-ho, upon learning about the protest, angrily scolds Daeho for mishandling the situation. He then instructs Daeho to resolve the protest by eliminating Bomi to weaken the resolve of the other residents. Not long after, at the acupuncture massage clinic, Jin-soo and two of his men arrive with gifts for Bomi and Sungjun for their previous rough treatment. Sungjun and Bomi warmly welcome Jin-soo and the others, and the five of them end up drinking together and chatting about various topics. When they run out of drinks, Sungjun volunteers to go out and buy more. Shortly after Sungjun leaves, Daeho suddenly appears and attacks Bomi. Seeing this, Jin-soo and his men try to help her, but Jin-soo struggles and is eventually thrown out of the shop. Just as Daeho is about to strike him again, Sungjun arrives and saves his martial arts brother. At that moment, Jin-soo informs Sungjun that the man before them is skilled in martial arts from the Changbai Mountains and intends to kill Bomi for opposing the redevelopment. Hearing Jin-soo's explanation, Sungjun tells Daeho that he should have come to him, the owner of the acupuncture clinic building, if he was seeking approval to sell the building. Unfortunately, because Daeho caused trouble at his place, Sungjun is not going to stand idly by. Together with Jin-soo, Sungjun starts to fight back against Daeho. Through his long period of inactivity, Sungjun's martial arts skills have diminished, leaving him powerless against Daeho. Fortunately, Minho arrives and pleads with Daeho not to hurt his father, prompting Daeho to leave the place. The next day, Daeho reports to Jong-ho that only Sungjun has not signed the property sale agreement. Unfortunately, he also mentions that Sungjun went missing after their fight. Hearing this, Jong-ho becomes furious and orders his men to find Sungjun immediately. Meanwhile, Bomi is worried about her husband, who left without saying goodbye to her. Jin-soo then tries to comfort Bomi by assuring her that Sungjun will return soon. In the Taebaek Mountains, Sungjun seeks out Lee to ask his master to teach him the secret techniques of Taebaekwan. Disappointed with Sungjun, Lee initially ignores his student and tells him to go home. Nevertheless, Sungjun refuses to give up and waits for Lee all night. Seeing Sungjun's determination, the next morning, Lee finally calls Sungjun into his room. Lee then tells him that all the martial arts techniques of Taebaekwan have already been taught to him, up to Sungjun to discover the hidden secrets within the techniques he has learned. One night, Jong-ho is seen meeting with Mr. Wang, a high-ranking government official who hired him to handle the relocation of residents. At that moment, Wang appreciates Jong-ho's work and promises to offer him a lucrative position if he gains full control over the city's redevelopment project. After that, Wang reminds Jong-ho to complete the task discreetly as he does not want others to know about his involvement in the forced relocations. As Wang leaves Jong-ho's restaurant, Hee-won secretly photographs the official from a distance, having realized that the government's major project is encountering problems. A few days later, Sung Jun continues to train in Taebaekwan martial arts until he finally grasps the essence of the techniques he has learned. Sung Jun then meets Lee to apologize for leaving the school 7 years ago. Fortunately, Lee forgives him, and before seeing his student off, introduces the Grandmaster from the Gangnam Mountain School, who turns out to be Hee-won. Hee-won then reveals that the Grandmaster from Changbai Mountain they were searching for is Dae-ho, who fled North Korea with his family after being accused of betraying his school. Unfortunately, upon arriving in South Korea, Dae-ho and his family were captured by the Taepyeong gang, which forced him to assist Jong-ho in relocating residents who refused low compensation for the redevelopment. Because of this, Hee-won asks for Sung Jun's help in stopping Dae-ho. Wasting no time, Sung Jun, now a Grandmaster of Taebaekwan, heads to the Taepyeong gang's headquarters to confront Dae-ho. Despite being confronted by dozens of Jong-ho's men, Sung Jun defeats them all quickly and meets Dae-ho. The two Grandmasters then engage in a fight using their respective martial arts techniques. Although initially overwhelmed, Sung Jun eventually strikes several acupuncture points on Dae-ho, causing him to lose energy. After that, Sung Jun warns that Dae-ho's blood vessels will burst if he continues to use his energy to fight. At the same time, Jong-ho suddenly appears and stabs Sung Jun with a folding knife to steal the signature stamp he carries. Seeing this, Dae-ho gets up and knocks Jong-ho unconscious. Sung Jun, injured, tells Dae-ho that his family has been rescued by the Grandmaster from Gangnam Mountain. In the final scenes, Sung Jun's acupuncture massage business is bustling, with Jin-soo and his men helping Bomi manage the business. Meanwhile, Hee-won is featured on the news after exposing the corruption in the city's redevelopment project, leading to its cancellation. For her efforts in uncovering the crimes of government officials and the Taepyeong gang, Hee-won receives an award from the government. Moral lesson from the story: don't fight your brother for a Grandmaster title. He might just leave you with all the acupuncture bills. Also, using ancient martial arts to lose weight is fine, but don't be surprised if your wife gets ideas about improving her figure with secret acupuncture points.